Whether you're on top of the world or down in the dumps, whether your trading is going great or is a buzz, one thing's by your side, always through it all, lighting up smiles around the world for all. Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.
After reading tens of thousands of your comments over the years, I know there are a multitude of reasons why even the most desirable men are walking away from dating. It can be summed up with, the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Feminism helped men going their own way to win the war. And now women are reeling from this outcome, while many of them are so stuck up on their egos that they cannot publicly admit to what has happened. There are some women now coming forward and saying, ladies, we messed up. Today's video comes from Your Wingmam. Her channel will be linked in the description so you can go and check her out. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of what feminism has done, and now men going their own way, gaining extraordinary influence in Western society over both men and women. Follow us on Rumble, because you never really know what will happen on this platform, and our Rumble will be linked in the description of this video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
After reading tens of thousands of your comments over the years, I know there are a multitude of reasons why even the most desirable men are walking away from dating. It can be summed up with, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. If you're a man, let me know which ones resonate. And if you're a woman who wants to attract and keep a good man, you may want to pay attention and make some personal adjustments to make sure your juice is worth it. If you're new to my channel, I help men decode modern women so they can find, attract, and keep their keeper, or simply have better relationships with women if they prefer to stay single. Welcome to Just the Tip. All right, let's do this. Jake will be our fictional man, ready to go, MGTOW. 1. Unrealistic expectations. If you watch any of the Red Pill channels, you'll probably have seen a panel of high-maintenance, low-value women listing off their must-haves. 6 feet tall, six-pack abs, and a minimum of a six-figure income, or a trust fund, your typical Chad. Now, the truth is, those women are selected for their clickbaitable audacity. Just like men perhaps secretly desire the perfect woman, a perfect 10 who's an angel in public and an OnlyFans in the bedroom, men can be happy with a decent woman who isn't perfect but who makes them feel good overall. However, though most women can be happy without a Chad, they have been brainwashed by both men and other women to think they should want them. And at the slightest sign of lack, they look for excuses to dismiss a good man who might actually be the perfect fit for them. Key point: while some women are setting up OnlyFans accounts, most women aren't pushing the angel OF ideal. There's a reason. More on that in a minute. Example: Jake went on several dates where he felt that the woman he had met had a long requirements checklist. One date ended rather abruptly when he mentioned he didn't have a six-figure salary yet. Many men feel pressured by unrealistic expectations, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Unfortunately, some men have unknowingly encouraged women's expectations by constantly saying that's what we all want. If you say something loud enough and long enough, people start to believe it. Women instinctively know this. That is why women's body positivity started. Ladies and gentlemen need to stop telling women they want the perfect man and start acknowledging that kindness, loyalty, and reliability, along with shared values, compatible beliefs, and goals, are what we all truly need. 2. Past negative experiences. A lot of men have had bad experiences with women, whether they missed the red flags that were there, ignored them, or were masterfully manipulated. Past negative experiences can tarnish their outlook outlook on all women. The unfortunate part is those men often actually don't trust themselves to see the flags or to throw back a throwback when she displays them, because he might believe that's all he can get. Example: after a painful breakup where Jake's girlfriend cheated on him, he found it difficult to trust women again. He decided to take a break from dating and heal to focus on himself. Past negative experiences can leave lasting scars, causing men to step back from dating to avoid further hurt. So ladies need to understand that just like we have psychological self-defense mechanisms to protect ourselves, so do men. Practice gentle understanding. It costs nothing but is a priceless gift.
So, guys, this holiday season, Angry's Crypto Academy is running a Christmas promo to help you start 2025 strong. From now until December 31st, you can get 20% off annual paid subscriber plans. And the bootcamp membership is also 20% off. If you've been waiting to level up your crypto game, now's the perfect time to invest in yourself. Click the link in the description below, grab your membership, and let's make 2025 your best year yet. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you inside the Academy. So let's make this very clear. What women really want is the perfect man. But the truth is that even the perfect man could never actually make them happy, because no such thing exists. They will always get bored. They will always need something new unless they're with a man who is constantly putting them through a series of emotions, whining and dining them and giving them this high value life that they have not earned. And even then, it would still get boring for them. It's not going to happen. What ends up happening is that a woman settles for her last choice. All right. You were her last choice. Don't get me wrong. You're her last choice right now because it's still just your turn, but you're the one that she's going to build her life off. So when you marry one of these individuals, you're basically just her simp. You're her plan B guy. You're the one that she hooked, and she's going to use you to build her life off you. That's the honest goodness truth. She doesn't have any plans or desires to be with you in the long term. She doesn't actually want you. She doesn't actually like you. She only needs you. And she only needs you for your utilities. You have to understand something about modern women. A lot of them don't even like the men that they're with being next to them. They cannot stand them. Like, they absolutely despise them. You have to understand that women in Western society, they do not like us. While men accept and like women for who they are based on their characteristics, women only like a man based on his utility, what he can provide for them, and what he can do for them. And it's not just a matter of what has he done for them. The truth is, it comes down to what has he done for them lately. It doesn't matter if you're a good husband for 10 or 20 years or 30 years or whatever. If you haven't done enough for her lately, recently, as in like this morning, it's over. The truth of the matter is that it's the smartest thing for men to simply walk away. There is no winning. And the very notion that it's men who are telling women that, well, the reason why, telling women that, you're supposed to want a six-figure man, or we're the ones spreading this garbage. That's absolute nonsense. Do you see what she did right there? And I think that was terrible. Women are only saying that they want a six-figure man because men say that women want a six-figure man. Oh, it's not because we've made an observation that these are the kinds of men that these women are looking for. Why we say this now. We didn't just, we're just making it up out of thin air. If we stop saying it, then women are suddenly going to stop wanting a six-figure man. Guys, they don't want us talking anymore. They want to silence us while pretending to be our friends and on our side. They don't want us talking about this. They don't want us talking about, guys, MGTOW has been completely silenced on this platform. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
3, financial burden. Even though there are more women than men in post-ed nowadays, and many are making a lot of money, most women want a man to make at least as much as they do. However, supply and demand mean those men are in short supply and have plenty of options. Even a good man may not feel like busting his balls on a date to an entitled princess or provide a lifestyle that reaches beyond his income. Example, Jake noticed he was spending a significant portion of his income on dates and gifts, trying to maintain a lifestyle to impress his dates. He felt financially drained and decided it wasn't sustainable. The financial burden of dating can be overwhelming, leading some men to prioritize financial stability over romantic pursuits, with some fellas choosing to rent instead of buy, or shop abroad where their money goes further. Ladies must realize wealthy men have plenty of options, even if some of those options are gold diggers. If you have embraced the bounty of breaking the glass ceiling, you may need to adjust your financial expectations of men and consider other high-value traits like financial responsibility. 4, lack of appreciation. Unlike many moons ago, now women can do pretty much everything for themselves or hire someone who can. How many times have we heard a woman say, "I don't need no man"? Well, I'll tell you, many times, too many. If a man isn't needed, it's difficult to appreciate him. No one thrives in a relationship where they feel they can be easily replaced or discarded. Example, Jake frequently planned thoughtful dates and went out of his way for his dates, but rarely received even a tepid thank you, never mind any kind of reciprocation effort, and he felt rarely appreciated, but instead taken for granted. Feeling unappreciated can be very discouraging. Men, like everyone else, need to feel valued in a relationship. Ladies, you can practice appreciating the men in your lives. Show at least as much appreciation to a generous man as you would to your best friend. 5, focus on personal goals. Some men have a lot on their plates and don't want the distraction that can inevitably come from dating and relationships. Whether they're young and want to get ahead in life or are older and licking their wounds trying to rebuild a life, sometimes the smartest thing to do is to go solo for a while or maybe even forever. Example, Jake is a high achiever in everything he does and passionate about his career and personal growth. He found that the immense effort he put into dating often distracted him from his goals, so he decided to focus on his professional and personal development instead. Many men are choosing to prioritize their individual goals and ambitions over dating, finding fulfillment in their careers and hobbies. Ladies must accept that in order to enter a man's life who has a lot on the go, she needs to be an asset, not a liability. Make his life easier by being in it. 6, fear of commitment. There's no shortage of relationship horror stories, many ending with the man losing his shirt, his house, his kids, some kids over there, or even worse. With the divorce rate over 50% and over 85% of divorces initiated by women, no wonder men fear commitment. Even living together can be a trap. Example, Jake has seen many of his friends go through messy divorces. The fear of a similar fate made him wary of committing to a serious relationship, so he opted to stay single. The fear of commitment, fueled by observing adverse outcomes in others' relationships, can lead men to avoid dating altogether. Women must acknowledge the truth in the stats. Though it can happen, reality shows that few women are losing their homes and paying palimony. Want to be a real keeper? Offer a prenup from the get-go. It can actually protect both of you. 7, cultural and societal pressures. We live in a world where every culture and society has its own set of expectations about relationships, marriage, and the roles men and women play. These pressures can be overwhelming, particularly for men who are caught between what they want and what they think they should want. Whether it's the pressure to marry by a certain age or expectations around providing financially or the stigma of being single, these societal norms can weigh heavily on a man's mind. Some cultures have even more rigid expectations, like needing to marry within a certain community or following specific traditions that don't align with personal desires. When the pressure to conform feels too heavy, it may simply be easier to step away from dating altogether than to risk failing in the eyes of society or family. Example, Jake comes from a culture with strict expectations about marriage and relationships. The pressure to conform led him to step back from dating, feeling that he simply couldn't meet his own desires and society's expectations. Cultural and societal pressures can make dating feel like a daunting task, leading some men to simply walk away to avoid conflict and stress.
It's completely silenced on this platform. Guess what? It doesn't matter. They won because even though they were able to basically cancel 99% of the MGTOWs, feminism has helped them to win the war. Okay? The goal of the MGTOWs was to basically get all men to go their own way. 90% of men in Western society are no longer dating, no longer getting married, no longer having children. 90%. Nine out of 10 men no longer approach women, no longer go on dates. All right? Have no interest in marriage, no interest in relationships. 90%. 90. That's an insane number of men. Now, of course, from these men, there are some men who may go on to become passport kings. That's a small number of men, because most men are not going to travel around the world to go meet a woman. The average man is going to say, you know what? God gave me two perfectly good hands, and I can use them, use one of them to basically get it done within about a minute, and after a minute, flick my wrist and I move on with my life. And that's how a lot of men operate. Men are treated so poorly. If you look at what's happening over in the UK, where if a boy is even suspected of misogyny, he can be a toxic misogyny. He will be snatched up by the Department of Terrorism, and now these boys will be indoctrinated by the department by the UK government, and they'll have to join the conversation and learn just how toxic they actually are. This is sick. It's a dystopia. Who would want to live in this type of thing? No one in their right minds. And yet this is what they're placing upon us. And then they wonder why men just give up and walk away, because it's a sick society. It's a society that absolutely HATEs us. Look at that. I even have to spell it out. It's sick. That's how sick our society is.
Ladies, if you want to keep him around, let him know you're looking for a relationship based on mutual understanding, not societal approval. If you can, ditch the cultural rule book, or at least try to navigate it together. 8, mental health concerns. This one's big. Stress, anxiety, depression, ADHD, ASD, OCD, PTSD. There are a multitude of mental health conditions that can make dating and relationships confusing, overwhelming, and frustrating. Whether it's not being able to read body language, or not be able to make eye contact, or simply requiring more energy than a man has, the effort required for dating can be exhausting, and some men are bowing out. Example, Jake struggled with anxiety and depression. The added stress of dating exacerbated his mental health issues, so he chose to focus on his well-being before re-entering the dating scene. Men increasingly recognize the importance of mental well-being and may step back from dating to try to focus more on self-care. Ladies need to practice
Guys, if you think you've missed the boat on Bitcoin, think again. The crypto world is exploding with new opportunities. And while Bitcoin has already made its millionaires, there's still a chance for you to get in early on the next big wave. I've put together an exclusive guide on 4 altcoins that could change the game and change your financial future. These aren't just hype coins. These are real projects with groundbreaking technology and massive upside potential. This is your chance to get in before they hit the mainstream. But listen, crypto isn't just about getting rich, it's about freedom. Freedom from traditional banks, freedom from government-controlled money, and freedom to take back control of your life. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy. When you join the academy, you'll learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, how to buy, sell, and trade the right way, how to spot the coins that can truly take off, and how to use crypto to achieve real economic freedom. And here's the best part. When you subscribe, you'll get a free copy of my crypto blueprint. This is packed with valuable tips and strategies to help you get started, and it's yours just for joining. The link is in the description below. Don't wait around and miss another opportunity like Bitcoin. Those who act now will be the ones who win big. So if you're ready to take back control of your finances and start your journey to freedom, join Angry's Crypto Academy today. Let's make it happen. You know, what's really telling, guys, is that modern women chose this path for themselves. They said that, guys, we don't need you, men. We don't want you. You know, we'd rather the bear. So guys said, okay, go have fun in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. But now the rent is due and they're running for the hills. And of course, many of them don't want to admit that they're wrong. In fact, they want to turn around and put some of the blame on us. While I respect many of the things that she said, I disagree with a lot of them. They're trying to say, well, see, it wasn't all of our fault. It was also your fault. You see, you allowed us to do this and you also said these things. Silly, you need to stop talking about it. All right. If you talk about how women are taking advantage of you, it's only going to make them want to take advantage of you more. Guys, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? It's sickening to hear something like that. For example, imagine a woman who is in a relationship with a man who's not a good person, and he's a very bad individual, and she talks about what this man is doing, and women in general who also go through the same things are talking about what these men are doing in these relationships, and they're bringing social awareness to what these women are doing. And then you have a man who comes along and says that, ladies, you play a role in this as well, because one of the reasons why men are doing these things in these relationships is because you're publicly talking about what these men are doing, and if you weren't talking about it publicly, then these men wouldn't be doing this. So if men weren't talking about it and saying that, women want 6-figure men, then women would not want 6-figure men. It's because men are calling out the behavior why women are engaging in the behavior. We're our own worst enemy as men, because we're talking about what we experience and we're talking about actual female nature. We're now being gaslit and being told that it's because we talk about it why women do this. If we didn't say that women want a man with a six-pack, women wouldn't want him. Women wouldn't be looking for a man with a six-pack. If we weren't talking about it and saying that women are looking for a man who is at least 6 feet tall, women wouldn't want a man who's at least 6 feet tall. If we didn't say that women are looking for a 6-figure guy, a guy who makes above 6 figures, women wouldn't say that they want a guy who makes above 6 figures. Guys, this is crazy talk. This is why I say that we're dealing with individuals who are functionally insane at best. And even when they are trying to apply reason or logic, they reason using feelings instead of facts. And even if they try to use facts, they simply choose from the facts that they feel the best about, that they like the most, that resonates most with their feelings, and they go from there. So you can never have a real honest discussion or real serious conversation with these people because they will always apply what they feel and gaslight you 100%. Imagine this, guys. You are the victim and you are being told that you are the villain.
Gentle compassion with men. It's a tough world out there for them right now. Women have been making great strides forward, while many of our men are falling behind. That is not my kind of equality. 9. Changing relationship dynamics. In much of the developed world, feminism has brought with it a new attitude about relationships. Women who don't want a traditional relationship don't have to have one. They can support themselves and have kids by themselves. Well, this leaves a lot of men wondering where they fit into the romantic relationship model, or simply deciding to commit to not committing. Example. Jake noticed the shift in how many of the women he dated viewed relationships, many emphasizing casual connections rather than long-term commitments. It was difficult for him to find a woman that he was attracted to who had similar values. Changing relationship dynamics with a trend towards casual connections can make it difficult for men who are seeking long-term commitment. Ladies who want a long-term relationship should be very much more selective of who they have sex with. Promiscuity is not a top must-have for most men looking for love. Sorry, but true. 10. Desire for independence.
And responsible for what's happening to you because you're talking about it, because you're revealing it. We wouldn't victimize you if you didn't talk about being victimized. In other words, what the reality is, no one would know about it. What they want to do is silence you and gaslight you they want to silence you by gaslighting you into silence. All right? They're going to gaslight you into silence. They don't want you talking about it. So they're going to flip it around in all kinds of insane ways. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. It's insane. It's insane talk. You know? Like, God knows what we go through as men. It's horrible. Even our mothers drive us insane. The individuals in our lives that we go into the world, they drive us insane, and it's so untrustworthy. Something that men have, and there's this notion where, oh well, if you go out and you find yourself a woman who's homely, then you're gonna get a good girl, guys. There's this whole notion that homely girls or ugly girls are loyal. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's complete lie. It has nothing to do with what a person looks like. Are guys unattract women who are not as pretty often are out there being in relationships physically intimate at the same rates as women who are very pretty. It has nothing to do with that. It comes down to the individual's character. It comes down to the merit of a person's character. If I remember, what's his name? And I like Psychack. He's a good guy, but he said, guys, you need to find your ugly duckling. And when you find your ugly duckling, basically, she's not going to be the woman that's very appealing to all men, but for you, she's going to be appealing and you can polish her like a stone. Basically, go find a pick-me-up, find a woman that you can build into the woman that you want, a fixer-upper, and that's going to be your wife. Guys, that's absolute nonsense, okay? What you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure, believing that if you lower your standards, if you go and look for someone who is not as attractive, doesn't have necessarily the characteristics you're looking for in a person, but maybe other men will avoid her and she can be your Build-A-Bear workshop project. This is crazy talk. It doesn't come that, guys, it does not come down to how a person it's a very shallow thing in and of itself to believe that if you find someone that is unattractive and that other men don't want because they're not attractive, then it's going to result in you finding that the gem because she's ugly but she's loyal. That's not true. Okay, it goes right down to the person's individual character, how they were raised, how they think, and so forth. It's all about men lowering their standards and looking for a diamond in the rough. That's absolute, total, and utter BS that every man should absolutely throw away and avoid. It's about a person's individual character and their personality. That's it. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now. Guys, modern women chose the bear and now they can go live in the forest. They said, men, we don't want you, men, we don't need you, but now the rent is due and they're running for the hills. They're running for all the exits, trying to gaslight men back to the plantation. But men are not buying it. 90% of men have walked away and they're choosing to avoid relationships and dating in Western society and instead focus on themselves and their own happiness. And that sounds a lot like MGTOW to me. Women are going to end up finding themselves in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution going forward because women were not designed to live without a husband. And there's a lot of idiots in my comments. These are mostly Sims who are saying that women are going to be just fine. You know, they know a lot of single women who are now older and they're quite happy without men. And the interesting thing is that these men have been raised to believe this because they don't know anything about women. And if you knew something about women, you wouldn't be on my channel. You wouldn't need Uncle Angry. And it gets annoying having to argue with these people. If you know everything, then you don't need to be here. And I told you, every day there's a new Angry Sama, or Uncle Angry in the comments. And these are not people who like me. These are people who despised me. These are people who trolled me. These are people who tried to stress me out. And then they go off into the world and it suddenly clicks for them like, holy cow, Angry was right. And there's no one else. There are very few other content creators. I have guys who are 60 years old telling me that this is the first time in their life they've run into someone who gets this closest to the truth. All right. You know, from what they've experienced in life, because it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. And people like to dance around it in a circle. But I've never heard anyone. I've heard a few maybe doctors, like neuroscientists and psychiatrists, you know, people with medical degrees and in these fields that have talked about some of the factors I've mentioned here. Beyond that, I've never heard anyone actually break it down and downright say that women do not process things using facts. They process things using feelings. They rationalize using feelings. Okay. Because that's how their brains are wired. So you will never really get a factual based response from them, because even when they're trying to use facts, they're just going to choose from the feelings that the facts. They're just going to choose the facts that their feelings like the most and apply those. As a result of what women have done, as a result of modern day feminism, you know, and the fallout, you're going to find a lot of women who are going to be struggling and experiencing extraordinary states of destitution, living in their cars, living in the woods, living in shelters. It's going to be hard out there. And of course, when it comes to crypto, I've already said nothing says you care like crypto. a lot of women will not be able to enter into the crypto space because they don't really understand the ins and outs of crypto. You have to study the technology. You have to understand what it is. You have to know how to evaluate risk. And then also, you have to you have to do some math. Like if you want to go onto these exchanges, of course, the process of buying cryptocurrency has improved over the years. It's a lot easier to buy, but it's also still quite easy to get taken advantage of, or to, say, oh, I'm going to go buy some Bitcoin, and then you go buy some Bitcoin that's, some Ethereum that says Bitcoin, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 1 million of them right now. I'm going to be wealthy, and it's like, and there's only 21 million. I got so lucky. It's like, you really think you got that lucky, or did you not understand what blockchain is, and you ended up buying some crap coins that someone named Bitcoin and sold on some garbage network or garbage exchange? That's really what happened, and a lot of women are going to find themselves being taken advantage of in the crypto space, while many of them will simply not enter it due to the complexity. There are MGTOWs who actually said this, that as women take over and invade male spaces and push men out of these spaces, men would just create new ones. And I theorized quite some time ago, it was unbelievable to even conceive this, that eventually men would create spaces that were so complex for women to enter that it would become a barrier for entry. And this is kind of where we seem to be going with crypto. It's a very high barrier to entry in crypto. I remember some woman saying that, crypto is not that difficult. I have friends who are computer programmers and they own Bitcoin. So obviously it's not that hard. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you just said that you have friends who are computer programmers, ladies who are computer programmers who own Bitcoin. And what you've actually just stated is that, or alluded to, is,
Some men and women can't be bothered with the effort required to find, attract, and keep a keeper. It's not only a lot of work just to get one good one, but then there's the ongoing maintenance. Every good relationship takes a lot of effort. There's a saying that men believe the work is over when he gets married or gets into a serious relationship, while women think the work is just beginning. Just like going to the gym is how you maintain a fit body, relationships require ongoing effort. Some people are content on their own without the added work. Example: Jake values his independence and enjoys his solo pursuits. He finds that dating requires just too much effort and often compromises his freedom. He was happy being single and so decided to remain single to maintain his lifestyle. The desire for independence and the freedom to live on one's own terms is powerful, and why some men are walking away from dating. Ladies need to understand that if they want a good relationship, appreciating and rewarding good behavior gets more of it than punishing bad behavior. Never nag. Walking away from dating is a personal choice influenced by many factors, from past experiences to individual goals and mental health. Noisy trap. It's essential to respect your own desires and understand that everyone's journey is different.
So guys, this holiday season, Angry's Crypto Academy is running a Christmas promo to help you start 2025 strong. From now until December 31st, you can get 20% off annual paid subscriber plans, and the bootcamp membership is also 20% off. If you've been waiting to level up your crypto game, now's the perfect time to invest in yourself. Click the link in the description below, grab your membership, and let's make 2025 your best year yet. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you inside the academy. You need to be a woman needs to be a computer scientist to understand how to purchase cryptocurrency and what the technology is. See, this is how crazy a lot of these individuals think. If one woman sees another woman as a doctor and achieves great things as a doctor, that means that all women can be great doctors. This is absolutely a load of nonsense. Men understand that there's smart men out there and there's a lot of dumb men out there. They often refer to guys like Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein And and these people who've created amazing innovations around us as being gods among men. And of course, I don't elevate men to the position of gods, but this is how they are viewed, because the average man understands that, nah, bro, you're not going to be as great as this dude. These are unbelievably amazing, extraordinary people. Okay? Just because this guy did something so amazing doesn't mean that you are going to do it too. On the other hand, modern women believe that every woman can be Marie Curie. Most men understand they will never be Elon Musk. Okay? They will not even be 1% of Elon Musk. They will not be 1% of Steve Jobs. They will not be a percent of Nikola of Tesla. All right? They will not be these people. They will never come anywhere close to these people, and that's okay because they're staying in their lane. Every woman believes that she can be a great mechanic, she can be a girl boss, she can be an engineer, she can be a doctor, a lawyer, and everything else out there. When the reality is that they don't have the capacity for it. Just like, men understand not every man has the capacity for certain things. Not every woman has the capacity for a lot of for certain things, but they believe that this is how it is because they think that they're better than we are. Men have never been able to have it all, but women believe that they can have it all because they are superior. And then when reality checks them, they want to run back to the safety net of men, but then they discover, yeah, that's sorry, sweetie, it's not there. It's not there, and there is no one waiting for you. Try again, boo. Try again. No one is waiting there for you. Women did this to themselves. They made this choice for themselves, and now they're going to have to face the consequences of those choices. And there's no men coming to the rescue this time. What do you think, guys? Feminism helped men going their own way win the war, and women are going to basically have to deal with the fallout. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.